Feedback Learnex. English forever.
Lights, camera, action. That is the bimester's topic, and what better way to dive right in than to discuss the award show that will be coming up this weekend, the Oscars. So sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, and join me as we dabble into the Oscars history. The history of the Hollywood Oscars is long and has not always enjoyed the attention of the global media. At first, their stars were not as well known. There was no red carpet or parades with ostentatious dresses. The gala was simply a quiet dinner, and the winners of the Oscars knew each other beforehand. The first year of its celebration, 1928, Janet Gaynor was the only woman to win an Oscar, being awarded the Best Actress award for her work on The Seventh Heaven, The Angel of the Street, and Dawn. In the second year, only 7 prizes were awarded, and since then the Oscars have grown inexorably both in audience and in categories. The need for special categories was recognized from the beginning, and in 1929, 2 were delivered. One for Warner Brothers for producing the first spoken film, The Jazz Singer, and the other for Charlie Chaplin for producing, directing, writing, and starring The Circus. In 1936, the Academy began awarding prizes to supporting actors, since it was proven that the actors who had leading roles were the ones most likely to be winners. The first Oscars for Best Supporting Actor was awarded to Walter Brennan for Rivals, while the Oscar-winning Best Supporting Actress went to Gail Sondergrad for The Adverse Night. The following year, 1937, the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award category was created, which was awarded to those prominent figures in the world of film production, with Darryl F. Zanuck being the first winner. The special effects category was added in 1939, and the winner was The Rains Came. Years later, in 1947, the Academy began to recognize foreign films, with a special prize for the Italian Susia, or Shoeshiner, directed by Vittorio De Sica. In 1963, there was a modification in the Special Effects Award. It was divided into 2, sound effects and visual effects. Makeup was added in 1981 along with the Gordon E. Sawyer Award for technological contributions. Finally, in 2001, the first Oscar was awarded to the Best Animated Film, where the unforgettable Shrek was the winner. Academy Awards venues. The first ceremony took place during a banquet held in the Blossom Room of the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. 270 people attended, and tickets cost $5. During the first years, banquets continued to be held in different hotels in Los Angeles, such as the Ambassador or the Biltmore. It was from 1942, because the increase in attendance made banquets impossible, when the Academy Awards were transferred to the theaters, where they continued to be held to this day. In March 1949, the Hollywood Oscars were delivered at the Academy Theater itself on Melrose Avenue. For the next 11 years, the Academy Awards took place at the Pantages Theater of the RKO Studios in Hollywood. It was there on March 19, 1959, where the ceremony was televised for the very first time through NBC. In 1961, the Oscars were delivered to the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium, and for the next 10 years, ABC was responsible for the broadcasts. The Hollywood Oscars were first issued in color in 1966. Between 1971 and 1975, NBC took charge of the broadcast again, and ABC resumed this work in 1976 with a contract until 2014. On April 14, 1969, the Oscars ceremony was held at the newly released Dorothy Chandler Pavilion of the Los Angeles County Music Center. It was the first great event of this world-renowned cultural center. The Academy Awards remained at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion until 1987, when they returned to the Shrine Auditorium. Subsequently, the Oscars have been held successively in the Shrine Auditorium and in the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion. In 2001, the Oscar ceremony returned to Hollywood, to the Kodak Theater, where it is still to this day celebrated. The Oscars award ceremony has been interrupted 3 times. The first in 1938 after a flood in Los Angeles that delayed the ceremony for a week. In 1968, the celebration was delayed 2 days out of respect for Martin Luther King Jr., whose funeral took place the day after the awards. And in 1981, they were delayed 24 hours for the assassination attempt against President Ronald Reagan. As you can see, this is a perfect way to go into this weekend with a better knowledge of this amazing and interesting awards ceremony. Thanks for joining us on this week's edition of Feedback Learnex, and stay tuned next week as we take a look at the story of Charles Manson and how it's being taken to the big screen.
Feedback Learnex, English Forever. Estamos en sintonía. Feedback Learnex, English Forever. Feedback Learnex.